We do indeed. I'm trying to keep up with her, but it's quite difficult because I can't actually see where I'm going most of the time. But it looks like Thandi once again. So there we go. There she is, straight ahead of us. Now she's moving through some really thick stuff and looks as though she's on the hunt once again. And you'll find leopards often use these conditions to hunt. It's perfect conditions to be able to chase animals and to try and worm their way through the thickets. The rain kind of deadens the sound and makes it difficult for any other animal to hear them as they go about their business. It's also quite dark today, which means that it's a lot easier for her to sneak around without being seen. Now, I know a lot of you have been asking about the waterbuck skull. The waterbuck skull on the front is all James is doing. I'm borrowing James's car because Rusty's just getting a little tune-up before we have our TV shows, so it's just having a little workshop time, and so that's why I'm in James's car. And what the waterbuck skull is for, I'm not 100% sure. It's pretty cool, but I don't really know why James has it on the front, but that's why it's there. It's because we're in James's car. Now, I've got to try and keep up with her as much as possible because in this area, she can lose us quite quickly. Now, the problem is that my field of view is so limited due to this roof that it makes it quite tough to actually see her if she changes direction like she's doing now. It seems as though she's on a real mission though, wherever she's going. Right, so let's see if I can get Wiem a view from here. Wiem, can you see from there or not? She's just here on our left, coming straight forward. So you can see it's not exactly open and easy to follow her, but well, we're going to try our very best to see if we can, because I'm pretty sure she's left the den now this morning. You probably find she spent the night at the den with the little one, keeping that little one nice and warm as it was raining. Now I can see a steenbok. There's a steenbok just over the back of her. Very difficult to see, but straight where she is, behind her, is a little steenbok in the distance there. It's difficult to see. It's so thick, but I can see a steenbok just over the back of her back, and now I can't see where she's gone. Where's she gone, Wiem? Can you see her? She's just disappeared in front of us. I'm going to try and see where she's gone. Now, this is what happens when you following leopards, is that sometimes they just kind of disappear right before your eyes. I was so busy looking at the steenbok that I didn't see where she went. Now I'm going to try and get through. There she goes. You can see she's chasing after the steenbok. So I didn't see her at all, but there she goes. She's busy trotting and she's trying to work out where the steenbok's going to go. You see, look at how attentive she is. And there she goes. She's into stalk mode now. So she's noticed the steenbok and she's most definitely going to try and see if she can keep up with the steenbok and follow it as it goes. This terrain that she's in is absolutely perfect for hunting, and we know that she's got this little one, and so she's going to have to be feeding a lot more just to try and keep her strength up. And so when it's cold like this, you find that she's going to take advantage and try and hunt as much as possible. But she definitely picked up that little steenbok, and you can see now that little tail is twitching as the calculating starts to take place. Ears are alert, and she's now going to try and position herself in a way that she can then hunt this little steenbok. The problem is that I don't think I'm going to be able to get through this particular section. Now, unfortunately, I can't see where the steenbok has run to. It seems to be behind a thicket. It's quite kind of to our right into that thicket, and I'm sure she can see it. Unfortunately for myself and Wiem, I can't see anything. Wiem, you see anything? Negative. No. Our roof, unfortunately, is also obscuring. I can go further forward because of a big fallen over tree. Behind me is a stump that I've got to be very careful of as well. So, but look at her as she goes. You see how she moves her feet slowly, and then she... Absolutely amazing to watch her as she goes about her business. Now, for those of you who don't know who Thandi is, and for new viewers that have joined us today, Thandi is a female leopard that has taken over this territory. Now, Scott was alluding to the fact that she does have a cub. We have seen the cub once, It is still very small, and so the area where the den is zoned. We haven't been going there. The zoned area will open up fairly soon, and we'll be able to spend more time with the cub. But she's spending a lot of time in the central parts of Djuma as she goes about her business to try and find and see if she can get food. But look at how she's stalking. You see how she's getting lower now? So she's getting deeper into the grass. She's starting to get her head down a little bit. She's trying to get herself as low to the ground as possible to get her head down so that the steenbok doesn't spot her, and she's trying to work a way to get through here without being seen. The problem is that Sbiem and I we don't move, we might miss her completely. So there she goes, she's disappeared completely. Now I've got to try and see if I can reverse, because I'm not going to get through this thicket that we're in at the moment, and try and see if I can actually get myself to a point where I can see her. The problem is we also got some other vehicles that are trying to get in with us. Randall, you say she's very stealthy. Well, indeed, she is, isn't she? Now, I'm trying to get out of here without hitting the 20 million stumps that are in this particular section, because there are loads, and you can see now I've just come across a stump at the moment. So let's see if I can try and see if I can get through here. Not very easy at all. And I can't really see behind me, so it's trying to kind of get through. I've also got somebody calling me on the radio. Of course, it will all happen at the same time. Yeah, sorry, I'm just live at the moment. I'll call you in 2 seconds. Now, I've got to just try and re-find her through all of this section here. And she's still stalking. I'm just going to quickly be using the radio. I do apologize. Yeah, Dave, if you come on Central, you'll find the vehicle tracks turning north in the block. Just follow those vehicle tracks all the way. It's quite a long way, and then you'll see me inside the block. Right, so she's just sat down now. I don't know where the steenbok has gone. It almost looks as though she might have lost interest a little bit, and maybe she's just missed out where the steenbok has gone. We'll just have to watch her for a bit. If she starts to stalk again, we might then do a action broadcast, but we'll just see how it goes. It almost looks as though she's now kind of lost her sort of prey item, and she's no longer nearly as interested as what she was. But like I say, if she does get into stalk mode, we will go into an action broadcast, so it will be quite fun. Now, was just now you saw she was very low to the grass. She was kind of moving around. She was very sort of fixed and focused on an area, and seems to be kind of looking. Now, I believe Hosanna, who's with Noel, is running off somewhere, so let's quickly jump across. As you can see, the steenbok is just in front of her. It's not far. It's around that bush is where the steenbok is. Welcome everybody to this action broadcast. As you can see, we've got a female leopard who's sneaking through the thicket. She's busy trying to chase a steenbok. The steenbok is just trotting in front of her. There you can see her going through the bushes, the steenbok running in the background. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to cut it off in these thickets. Now, it is all very dense, it's very thick, so it's difficult to see, but hopefully she will get this right. Now, I'm going to try and keep up with her. While I keep up with her, I'll just try and introduce myself. My name is Tristan. On camera, I've got VM, and we are live and interactive from South Africa. So send your questions through in the comments section below as we try and get through this. Now, I believe our action broadcast hasn't gone through, but we'll just keep it up anyway because I'm super excited. It's all just pandemonium, and it couldn't be in a worse place because, well, as you can see, it's not exactly a very open section here. So I wouldn't be surprised she's going to get really low and start moving through the thickets and try and just get round the bushes a little bit where she'll then stalk it. Now, it's starting to rain quite heavily, which is playing into the favor of Thandi because she spotted her prey animal. The prey animal doesn't know that she's there, and this rain is going to deaden the sound. It's deadening the scent, and so she can get much closer. But you see how she knows now is the pivotal time to keep still. She cannot afford to make a rash movement, so what she's doing doing is she's waiting for the duiker to lose focus and start to feed. Once the duiker starts feeding, then she can start to move again. So she's just going to have a patience game, and it is amazing how she watches every little muscle. You see, as soon as the duiker starts moving, she starts moving. So she saw the duiker move away and look away ever so slightly. She took one step forward. The duiker then looked in this direction and she stopped, and you can see how she's holding it. Her muscles are twitching. She's definitely very, very interested. And if we play our cards right and we sit dead still, we might just get lucky here. This is absolutely amazing. Earlier in the day, Noelle was alluding to the fact that she's had some incredible sightings in the rain. And what is my favorite sightings in the rain? Well, some of my favorite sightings in the rain have been cats hunting. I've had absolute luck with the cats, and particularly in the rainy weather when they go off on hunts. I've had an amazing lion buffalo kill in the rain with it absolutely tanking down, and I've seen a leopard killing a little baby impala also in a massive thunderstorm. So this weather is perfect for hunting cats. Like I say, it gets very noisy, it gets very loud with the rain falling on all of the leaves, and that's going to make it much easier for Thandi to be able to then get closer. But you can see the patience that's involved in these hunts, and why they are sort of predators that don't always get it right is because they have to be able to get close enough to launch. Something like a cheetah, this would be way too close, and the cheetah would easily be able to outrun this duiker. And lions, you would have a situation where they'd maybe encircle this duiker, but a leopard, it can't do that. It's got to use all of its skill and its ambush capabilities and camouflage to try and get as close as possible. And while this may seem very close for us as people, it's actually really far away for this leopard. She needs to get within about 5 meters for her to be really successful, and so that's why she's sitting so still. You can see her muscles are starting to twitch a little bit and shake as she holds this position, and what she wants is that duiker to put its head down and start feeding. Once it puts its head down and start feeding, that means she can drop down and she can then start to move and position herself in a way that the duiker might start walking towards her. But look, you can see how she's twitching. Now, what's also interesting, if you look on her tail, it is very wet, but if you can just go up on her tail a little bit for me, in that area there, I thought there was a bit of mud there, but I keep finding Thandi with mud on the back end of her tail, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the little cave that she's got the little one in. Every time she goes in and out, there seems to be soil that rubs up on her back and her tail, so we always know if she's coming from the den, because generally there is this little muddy section on the tail itself. Now, the duiker is turning a little bit and is seems to be looking away from us slightly. That's why she's maybe moving a little bit, is because she can see that the duiker is not paying attention towards her, although I see that duiker is now looking at us and is just watching us. This is so amazing. Now, I'm going to keep my voice down a little bit, because at the end of the day, we don't want a situation where we're going to expose her and give her up. But it is absolutely incredible to see. There you go, you can see the duiker. Its face is turned towards us. It's difficult to see, but there is the head is kind of in our direction, and so I'm pretty sure it is kind of watching us. It's not watching Thandi, but it is watching us. But you can at least see its beautiful coat that it's got, and you see it's breathing. It's dead still. It's trying to rely on its camouflage now to blend in, but Thandi is locked on. She knows that it's there. She can see it, and she is slowly but surely creeping forward. It doesn't look like it, but she has taken about 2 steps since we first got into this position, and has slowly but surely is just pushing those legs forward. Look at that front leg wobbling. You see how she's slowly trying to put it in front? So she lifts it, and she's going to try and put it in a place where it doesn't make any sound whatsoever. Isn't this incredible? You see how delicate she is with that paw. She lifts it over those grass stalks, slowly trying to put it down so that she doesn't make any noise whatsoever. Also, the movement needs to be slow and staggered, because that duiker is going to pick up any quick movements. You can see she wants to go, though. She's probably quite hungry with this little one absorbing all the nutrients from her. She's got a situation. Look, you see she's twitching. Right, welcome
welcome to all of our new viewers that have joined us for this live action broadcast. We are in the middle of South Africa, very rainy South Africa, and you can see we've got a leopard that is very attentive. It is busy watching a grey duiker, which is a type of antelope that is tucked away in the thickets. I think it's somewhere in that direction. It was there. There it is there, VM. I can see its bum moving, and so this leopard is slowly but surely moving towards that duiker. It is poised to try and hunt, and every time the duiker moves, the leopard is moving. You can see it's now just gone a few steps forward, and what it's trying to do is it's trying to cut off the movement pattern of this particular duiker. It's trying to get into the path of it so that the duiker walks. There goes the duiker. It's starting to run now. So the duiker obviously saw it, unfortunately, and you can see now her whole body posture has absolutely changed. She's now become more relaxed. She's looking around, and that's typical of a leopard that has now lost the hunt, unfortunately. But this is the way that it goes. Sorry, that was my head in the way there. I'm trying to kind of maneuver myself so that I don't get in the way of things. Now, while she kind of watches what's going on, my name is Tristan, and you can post any comments or questions that you have in the comment section below. I don't think she's finished hunting, though. I think she's still going to try and keep moving with this duiker. This morning we've been with her, and she's already chased a steenbok, and you can see she's moving in the way of the duiker. Now, the duiker might not be too far ahead. It might have just run a little bit to be able to kind of just sit and get some distance between where we are and where the leopard is. It sometimes doesn't see the leopard, but it just as well. So I'm sorry that I keep changing the way I'm talking, but we're trying our very best to do so. Now, while I try and keep up with Thandi, let's go back across to Noel and Hosanna.